Major reforms could be on the way for how Arizona's elections are run. In an effort to speed up how quickly ballots are counted, lawmakers are now exploring modeling our election laws after a state on the East Coast.
12 News journalist Sean Rice is at the Arizona State Capitol to explain what this new proposal will look like for voters here in the Valley. Sean?
Yeah, Mark and Krebe, good evening. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle tell me it simply takes far too long to get every ballot counted here in our state. And in hopes of improving that, they hope to model some of our election laws after the way the state of Florida runs theirs. And all told, they hope it means quicker results on election night. Inside the walls of the Arizona State Capitol, lawmakers have their sights set on improving elections.
There's been a lot of terminology thrown around as to, oh, this is Florida style, that's Florida style, and to some extent it's become a shorthand for good thing that we like in elections.
Republican Representative Alex Collin has introduced a bill that would do away with parts of Arizona's elections processes that voters have become accustomed to. First, instead of the need for a signature verification process before your ballot is tabulated, each voter would get an ID number unique to them and only them, eliminating the need for validating a signature.
Signature verification is never going to be as reliable as real ID. Ultimately, it is going to be people making a subjective judgment based on what they know and comparing signatures and making that call.
Newly elected Maricopa County Recorder Justin Heap spoke in favor of this change. He's also in support of doing away with what's called late early ballots, those that voters fill out at home but aren't returned to a polling place until Election Day. Collin's bill would require voters to turn in their ballots by the Friday before Election Day, giving elections officials 3 full days of counting.
Having a cutoff several days before election allows the recorder's office to catch up and make sure that we can get the segregation so we can get you the results out on election night.
But will these changes disenfranchise voters? The Pima County Recorder in Tucson expressed concerns for people who live in rural parts of Arizona, feeling like they must vote in person with a much shorter deadline.
My concern is for people who are showing up on election day who may or may not have the proper identification or sufficient identification.
Should this bill pass the House and the Senate, it would be what's called a ballot referral, meaning voters would have a say on if it becomes law.
All of us share a desire to see the people of Arizona happy with their elections, to feel confident again across the board. We just need to work together to do that.
Now, what you heard there is what's called a committee meeting. I'm told there's going to be several additional committee meetings on this exact piece of legislation. That'll be here in the coming weeks. And lawmakers tell me they encourage members of the public to come out, give their input, and of course, make their voice heard. Tonight, we're live at the Arizona State Capitol. Sean Rice, 12 News.
Sean, thanks. Don't go